Hey, this is going to be another one of my YouTube offline videos where I just kind of rant for a few minutes and share my advice and views on things. And today we're going to be talking about big streamers versus little streamers and extreme streamers, right? Versus all of them. So I wanted to kind of share my opinion on this topic because it's sort of I don't know, it's kind of like just this voided area where people just sort of accept what's happening. And I'm just like, oh. So let's talk a little bit about that and let's jump into it right away, instead of letting me ramble on about nothing. So let me bring up my desktop because we know how well that always works out. Right. We'll minimize this and then we'll talk a little bit. Let's start with big streamers, right? And when I say big, I mean giant streamers like XQC and some of those guys, right? An average of 9.7 million followers on Twitch alone, with his most recent video getting 2.3 million views. That's epic. Congratulations to him. That's awesome, right? And he's not the only one. There are others that do this as well, right? So what's the deal? What's the problem then, right? And here's the thing. Little streamers have this unique ability to personalize and actually communicate with the person that's following them. There's a lot of interaction, there's a lot of control, there's a lot of fun and enjoyment that can happen there, kind of making an online friend, right? Is what I want to say. Like it's like an online friend, but not really. It's still that way though, right? You jump in, they remember who you are, you say hi, they respond, right? You talk about games, you talk about different topics. It's very fun and very interactive. When you start climbing that ladder a little bit, right? And you start looking, let's take a look down this list. I don't know why you watch one VTuber and suddenly that's all you have in your recommended channel. But let's look at this Momo. I don't know who they are, but 1.8, right? 1.8, and we're not gonna watch their stream. When you have a lot of users and you get to a big streamer, not like XQC, but when you get to a big streamer, you have this sort of disconnect between the person that's actually I don't know, like there's this disconnect between the person that is streaming that has a lot of views and the person that isn't. And as a result, you kind of have to set yourself up to just accept that they're not going to acknowledge you, right? There's some really good examples here that I have personally seen would be like Sea Dog, right? I like this guy. He's very funny. Um, and I enjoy watching him. But I don't watch him for the interaction anymore. I watch him for entertainment purposes only because he's very funny, right? Nux Taku is another one that is big enough that he no longer acknowledges his fans. And then you get to other people where it's kind of like they just can't, right? So you have to set yourself into what you're looking for in a stream when you decide to watch it. If you're wanting that kind of interaction, like I noticed in Nux Taku's stream a while ago, somebody said, I bought all your merchandise. I followed all your channels and socials. I tweet you on Twitch, on Twitter, and you still don't acknowledge me. Now you won't even say hello to me. And this guy, he meant it, right? But I I don't know how to explain it. When you're dealing with a chat that's just flying by, they can't acknowledge everybody. It's impossible. They wouldn't have time to do anything else. So you really need to decide if what you're looking for is a smaller streamer, because those people will stop and acknowledge your presence, or they should. And they take more care in it. With that said, I want to talk about one of the problems that is happening with big streamers and giant streamers. These people have the capability of absolutely changing the platform as a whole, not because of their general influence, but because of their audience in general, right? They have more than enough capabilities to solicit, promote, and rise up smaller channels, right? They could find somebody else playing the game and raid them. Or if they don't want to raid them with 9.7 million views, they could throw up a short on their screen and say, check this guy out. He's playing the same game. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff they could do to influence the platform and help other people grow. And you're starting to sort of see this where larger streamers are saying, I don't need your subscriptions. I don't need your money. I don't need this. Just go support somebody smaller.
Money comes pretty much primarily an insane amount from corporate and other parties that are not chat. So I always do appreciate that you guys subscribe and whatever. If you guys watch smaller streamers, subscribe to these guys and give your prime to smaller streamers.
And this is happening quite frequently. So that's good. Miz, who I'm not a huge fan of, has also helped people grow, but he kind of keeps it in-house, like networked, right? He doesn't promote random people. Like, they need to be part of his circle. And if they're not, he's kind of like, out you go. The thing is that with this much influence, these people could really make a difference. And I'm not talking about myself because I don't care. I stream for fun. But I'm talking about some people that are really trying to get their foot in the door. It doesn't take anything for them to do this. And if it's all about money for them, they could even go a step further and say, I will promote your stream live to my audience, for this much, and do some kind of Fiverr gig or something. They could do that, right? And they would make money to promote a stream. Does it mean that 9.7 million people are going to suddenly jump over to that channel? It does not, right? But if even one of them decides to check that channel out, it's absolutely worth it, right? So why aren't they doing this? What is this circle that continues to plague Twitch and smaller streamers? Why is it once you're big, and everybody else just kind of fades away into the background, right? Why aren't you promoting others and helping them grow? It's certainly happening in the smaller Twitch communities, right? You'll see people promote other streams, raid other streams, do shout outs for other streams. It's certainly happening in the smaller communities. So why not the larger ones? What's the catch here? And I can tell you that for more than 50% of them, it's greed.
$5 a month. How are you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? All right, everyone in the chat's making me depressed with all their fucking sad fucking sob stories about how their life is over and they can't afford $5 a month.
It's 100% greed, right? They don't want to share that platform. They don't want to share that spotlight with somebody that might take away their fans. Remember, for every person that's watching them, that fan, right, is money. That's income. And asking them to sponsor or encourage their income to look at somebody else has a potential to take that income away from them. And so this is happening across the platform.
But a sub is $5. At maximum, in whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10. And it doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money.
And it's terrible. It sucks. It's absolutely horrible. And I wish there was something we could do to stop it, but it doesn't appear that there is. And I don't know, man. I don't know. All I can say is support your smaller streamers. Get in there and find somebody that you like and follow them. A follow makes a huge difference for a lot of people. You know, like them. Do what you can to support your smaller streamers. These big streamers, watch them, enjoy them, but you don't need to dedicate so much of your time to these larger streamers. And even these streamers are telling you don't do this. You know, some of your bigger streams are saying don't do this because they don't need it. They don't need it. What you're giving them is a fragment of what their actual income is. The majority of their income is coming from the platform itself saying, don't leave, here's a big check. Or sponsorships where they're saying, please support our product and we'll pay you such and such amount of money. So, you know, when you're looking at them and then you look at a smaller streamer who's struggling to come up in this environment, it's important to consider that. And if you like them, try it out. You know, turn off your auto renew so that you can just try it out for a month and see if it's worthwhile. And if it's not, back out of it and find somebody else. I'm not encouraging this kind of behavior for myself. I already turned my Twitch affiliation down. I don't do this for money, but I see so many small streamers struggling to become something more. And it's so hard for them to get their foot in the door. And it really just doesn't take much for someone to go, I'm not going to subscribe to him. Somebody will probably gift me a subscription. There are 9 million people here. So I'm going to go over and subscribe to this person that I watch when these people aren't online. That difference is huge, right? So that's kind of my view on it. You know, don't feed the greedy. There's so many things going on in the world today that feeding the greed is never good. It's just not fun, you know. So if you're getting something out of it, great, do that. But if you're not and you feel obligated or you feel like this is just something that needs to be done because of how much time you spend watching them, don't do it. Go to somebody smaller who will appreciate that kind of attention, because the bigger streamers aren't helping. They're not helping the platform. They're damaging it, right? Your giant streamers aren't helping the platform. They're damaging it. These kings of the hill, these kings and queens of this platform are damaging the platform because they refuse to look at smaller streamers and make a difference. They don't want to. For most of them, it's all about money, and they cannot afford to branch out and lose you as income. So they don't. And that kind of mentality is destroying this platform. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you, right? I wanted to show you some of the differences. And I had this whole thing set up where I was going to flip through different channels and stuff like that, but it didn't work out that way. So it's whatever. Thank you so much for listening to my rant. I wish you guys the best and a happy new year. I will be streaming again soon. I hope to catch you then. Take care, everybody. Bye.